start with me. The, what my dad's vision was of raising a man, a worldly man who was functional member of society. I got video of my dad talking about that being interviewed of what his goals was for his son. Basketball was the platform. I'm raising my son to be a productive member of society. And so with them, obviously they're part of a different generation, coming up right now where sports is more prevalent in their life. I spend my time just keeping them, try to be grounded and giving them real information. They've done a good job of accepting it. It's not always been easy because it's hard being dad, sometimes coach or trainer, because you have to be really honest sometimes with their kids who are developing, their young mind is developing, and they're not able to internalize everything always responsibly. So sometimes the criticism can come across as, oh man, dad thinks bad or negatively of me, right? And you got to be careful of that because it's a real shaky line. Sometimes as a parent, sometimes your kids just get to the point they don't give a damn what you say. If you wear your voice out as trainer and coach at home, they're going to turn you off sometime, right? So it's one of those things where you got to be responsible. You got to grow as a parent in real time too. You can't be just about you and your experiences because the truth is their experiences are a little different from yours. You can give them what you learned, but they're also being raised up in a new world. So it's like with my son Jabari, he was going through it. Well, he went through some adversity, finding his identity, and we had butt heads, even in the NBA. Like when he got to Portland, one of the things I told him, look, one of the most important things you're going to do is find your identity. And he's this information since high school. This is how hard it is to be successful. Just because you got a dad or mom that play professional ball don't mean you guaranteed to make it. You still got to go out there and do it on your own. You still got to go out there and compete and find your identity. And for Jabari, it was tough because he got to Portland and he kind of took his foot off the gas pedal, made it high. That's when I told him, now ain't the time to do that. And there was a disconnect. And he's very fortunate that, you know, the general manager from Portland and these guys, they respect his dad. I got a phone call just giving you some information on how these dynamics work sometimes. Hey, man, Barry, he's showing up late here and things of that nature. He got some workouts. They wanted to change his body. And they wanted him to come in early. And I'm sure he didn't like it because when he realizes that they wanted him to come in early, you're not coming in with every team. We see your body. We want to get some body fat off of you. We need you to come in, right? And so with him and this new generation, that's a hard pill to swallow. You got this 2K era, right? They doing general manager stuff on 2K. They think it worked like that. Seriously, you got these kids think it worked like 2K. You come in there, pop your feet up, you talking with the GM and everything, and the deal get done. Not realize it don't work like that. And so there comes a time where it's hard because as much as your voice used to motivate them, there comes to a point where it don't work like that no more. That's just the reality. You got to be okay with that and let nature take its course. Beg for him to change his habits. It was a process he had to go through. The video games after the practices and stuff sometimes became more important than the games themselves. You got a generation of players that's doing that now. Built him a big gamer room. Beautiful chair. The chair is lifted off the ground, angles, and you can do everything with it. So, and that's what a lot of these young kids are going through now. They got two options, other distractions. And I got to understand this too as a parent, because these are some of these distractions I didn't have. And so goes by, you know, you think he's going to figure it out, don't happen. They're waiting for him to take that next step. Now, Portland wanted to give him the money, because he said all the right things and he cut from good cloth. And he's already said that I'm willing to do the dirty work. So they love the fact of the mindset that this kid was willing to come do the things, but you also got to put in the extra work. You got to take your body to the next level. You got to look like a pro. Your body can't be looking soft. Then you got to be consistent. They're asking you to hit shots in the corner. Well, why ain't you doing that? No, it's not a slight. Why aren't you doing that? Don't think when people challenge you that it's a challenge because somebody doesn't believe in you. No.
Yeah.
What the franchise is saying, they need more from you. And sometimes having this discussion with young kids when they're going through real pressure, it's hard. And so the kid Kamara, they picked the kid Kamara. Uh, I hit my son before the kid got there because as a proud dad and a dad who's also want to be ahead of the game. I wanted to see what he was going to be up against. I go watch a video of Kamara. Kamara is a dog. I'm watching. Oh, this kid, he he doing all the things I trained my son to do. Off the ball, willing to go get the extra rebound. Wasn't the best shooter at the time, but you can tell one of those kids who get to the right coach, he got that dog mentality. It's going to go like this. And that's exactly what
Hmm.
happened. Came in, him and my son was competing for the spot minutes. First, my son, it seemed like he was going to take that leap. And this kid just, once he got to Portland and figured out what they were asking him to do, what they needed, he took off. When my son got comfortable, he took off. Long story short, you seen what they gave him. My
Yeah.
son went from guaranteed to a two-way contract, which is tough. But I needed that to happen for him so he can learn because now, basically by him telling me to back off, he's kind of telling me he's his own man too. And as a dad, I could appreciate that. Where
Yeah.
usually you would be for like, oh, I'm disrespected. I've done all these things and everything I've done. It's like that. You raising your kid to be a man, and nature will tell you when you got to back off, whether you want to or not. There's a time when nature would tell you, I need you to back off and let this young man figure it out for himself. And that's hard. That's a hard pill to swallow. And so what happened was he had to figure it out. Second year, he didn't make that big leap, lost a little confidence. And I see all this happening in real time. Do I jump back in right now? Nah, I can't do that. As hard as I want to, I can't. I got to let nature take its course. That's the hard part because the money's on the table, right? But as a dad, I'm more interested in my son growing as a man too, not just being some little immature kid who think he's this great basketball player, that basketball is everything, but yet you talking, I can't have a decent conversation with him because the ego is out the roof. I'd rather have a humble
Hmm.
kid who I can talk to than an egotistical millionaire and somebody that that think they're God's gift to the world, right? And so
Yeah.
at that stage, and not that my son, I'm just saying that that's what you want to avoid, that those situations. And as a parent, you have an opportunity in real time. You got to navigate those fine lines. It can't be just
Yeah.
about basketball. So he gets to Philly after going through adversity and similar situation. Now you got the kid Barlow there, who again, another like a Kamar, another stud, another kid who's hungry. The African kid there who's, you know, none of those kids are highly skilled, but
Bona.
they're Bona. Love Bona. I love Bona. You know, again, who's willing just to do that. So now you got three guys there, Jabari, you got Bona, you got the kid Barlow. That's why Philly low key was doing good because you got three not known players, but three guys who just willing to do the dirty work, who's searching for a role. Those little things matter. And so now you got two guys you're competing against. And I thought it was getting ready to go bad because they end up signing Barlow first. Once they signed Barlow, because both of them were in two-way contracts. And when they signed Barlow, I said, okay, this might be one of those situations where this might not be it. And then just about a week ago, almost 2 weeks ago, uh, they gave Jabari a 2-year extension to guarantee. So shout out to Jabari for going through the adversity
Yeah.
uh, and doing what he needed to do as a man to reinvent himself. He just had two games back to back, 20 plus points the last two nights. He had 22 and 10 off the bench. Then he had like 20 something and 7 or 9 the night before that. And to see Coach Nick Nurse come out and talk highly of him in some of the clips, hey, that's what it's all about. It's a 360 turnaround.
Yeah. So
That's
that
the
kind of happens
adversity,
with
big
both of
dog.
your kids, right?
Yeah,
Because
hey,
earlier You said the Rutgers story was okay.
So Jabbar, my kid would tell you, so they laugh at me, right? They say, "Oh, Dad, your two favorite words, man, is adversity and platform." You'll you'll hear me use this a lot. If I'm talking basketball, I always use adversity and platform because I believe you got to have a platform first to be able to get to where you want to go. You got to create the right platform. Sports can be a right platform, whether it's football, basketball. Within that, the adversity is what helps sharpen the tools. See, a lot of people look at adversity and say, "Why God, me, this or that?" Instead of saying, "Thank you, let me figure this out. This is really an opportunity for me to grow." So we don't do a good job in the United States of really